Hello everyone, great to see everybody again. And here, let's speak about something that I get asked a lot from my clients. And this is something that I think Michael also gets asked a lot. So I thought about making a video on this and discussing this thing in detail. So that question is, as you can read from the title of this video, when does your new speaking style become automatic? Now this is something that most of the people working on their speech, they are actually concerned with, because they feel like, okay, right now I'm working on my speech each and every single day, but when would I reach the time when it would happen on its own? Like it would be happening on its own and I wouldn't need to do something. Just like I'm speaking right now. I worked on my speech for good more than a year, and I am still working on my speech because this is a process that keeps going. But I reached a point where it became automatic, like where I did not had to focus on, oh, I have to model, or have to speak like this, or have to do this, do that, because everything starts happening on its own once it becomes automatic. Now this is something that we have discussed in some of the earlier videos as well, that our main goal is to reach towards automaticity, where it is just happening on its own, where our speech is just flowing and our new speaking style actually becomes our own speaking style. That is what we are working towards. So, in order to answer that, let's look at a bit of science behind that. So, if you're learning something, if you're learning something new, it might be something simple, it might be something pretty complex, but whatever you are learning, there are basically three stages of learning. The first is the cognitive, the second is the associative, and the third is automatic. Now, the first one, which is cognitive, it means that you are learning a new skill. You are learning a new skill. For example, if you're learning a new language, with you watching the videos, with you learning about that language from the web, from the books, or wherever you are, that is basically the cognitive stage, where you're learning, where you're involved in the learning process, where you see what it looks like to speak this language, what is this language, this and that, and everything related. Secondly, then comes the associative stage, where you have to go out and speak that language. It can't be that you sit at your home, you keep learning the language, but if you don't actually go into the place where that language is spoken and you don't speak that language, you wouldn't develop this skill. So ultimately, you have to go out there, you have to get out there and use this language. That is the associative stage, where you are actually associating yourself with this. The first was the learning stage. You are acquiring the information, you're learning what it looks like to speak this language, what this language is, how it works out, and everything related. Then in the second stage, what we are doing is that we are associating ourselves with it. We are going out there, we are using it. Then comes a time after you keep doing that thing over and over again, you keep learning, you keep getting out there, you keep using. Then finally comes a stage where it becomes automatic, where that new language is, you can say, just imprinted into your brain, and now it's just flowing, it's just happening on its own, just like we speak our own language, whatever it is, right? So that is how it works. Same like working on your speech. What you are doing is that you are replacing that old habit of disfluent speech with this new habit of becoming a fluent, amazing, excellent speaker. So you have to again go through these three stages. The first stage, learning. That is where you learn what this new speaking style is, what it means, and how to develop it. That is what you learn inside the Pro90d speech system. What is this new speaking style that I want to develop? You learn the speaking skills, you learn everything inside the system, and most importantly, you learn modeling. How to model your model speaker. That is the person whom I would like to model as a speaker, and that is the person, if I could speak like him, that would bring about, or that would bring out a better speaking me. That is what modeling is. So you speak like that person. Okay, so here also modeling actually helps you to develop a bundle of skills, not just one. Modeling helps you to develop a bundle of skills because you are studying your model, then you are actually practicing modeling formally and informally, and then finally comes a stage where it becomes automatic for you, where that new speaking style becomes automatic for you. For example, if we speak about modeling, modeling is actually the foundation of the system which helps you develop your new speaking style much faster, and it makes the whole process quite easier. So if we speak about modeling, the first stage, which is the associative stage, you find a speaking model whom you like the way they speak, whom you admire the way they speak, and you would like to speak like them. Then comes the second stage where you practice by yourself speaking like them. See, where are they extending their words? Where are they blending? Where are they inflecting? What are their facial expressions? How they are using their hand gestures. So you learn all of that and you keep practicing it over and over again. But not just by yourself, but you go out there and model. You feel, act, and speak like your model. In fact, you try to feel, act, and speak like your model. So you go out there, you say that, okay, right now I'm speaking, I'm not myself, I am my speaking model. For example, if it's Michael, you say that I'm Michael right now. If Michael was here, how would he speak? How would he act? How would he be using his facial expressions? And let me do that, because right now I am Michael, I'm not myself, or whoever your speaking model is. So modeling actually helps you to get out of yourself and to buy the speaking identity of someone else for a time until you develop your own. So when you keep practicing modeling on your own, and when you keep getting out there and use modeling over and over again, there comes a time where it becomes automatic. So once again, first stage was what? Learning that style of speaking, finding a speech model, learning that style of speaking. Secondly, then practicing modeling both formally, that is by yourself, and then informally going out there and using modeling over and over again. Then you would reach a stage where you would develop your own speaking style built out of your models, but now it would be your own. So I modeled Michael, but I don't speak like Michael. I used him as a speech model in order to make this process fast and in order to reach my speaking goals, to reach where I want to reach. And then when this new speaking style becomes automatic, then you can do whatever you want with your speech. Sometimes you can speak fast, sometimes you can go slow, you can inflect, you can extend, you can blend. Your speech gets in your head and you get to just play around with it. That is the stage where we want to reach. Now, another question: how long would it take for it to become automatic? So some studies, in fact most of the studies and researches have shown that it takes around 18 to 254 days in order to form a new habit. Here we are forming a new speech habit, a new speaking habit. So studies show that it takes around 18 to 254 days, with the average being around 66 days. That is just more than 2 months. Okay. Now this 18 to 254 days depends upon what you are acquiring. If it's a simple habit, you might make it automatic and develop it within a few weeks or within a month, let's say. But if it's more complex, like learning a new language, like learning to speak in a fluent manner, that might really take more time. So we have seen that within a month you can actually develop a bundle of skills with modeling, because when you're modeling, you're extending, you're blending, you are inflecting, you're doing all of that stuff. So modeling can actually help you develop a bundle of skills within a month. Then within 60 days, after you just keep doing that over and over again, that is, you keep learning and then you keep getting out there and using it, that is the associative, that is the cognitive and associative stage. It's around 60 days where it starts to become automatic. Then once again, after you keep repeating it over and over again, we have seen that in around 8 months, in around 7 to 8 to 9 months, with the average being around 8 months, you make this automatic. It becomes automatic where it starts to happen on its own, and your new speaking style is just happening on its own, and you don't have to work much. I have sunlight on my face right now, but that's okay. I'll not stop the video right now. So it's around 8 months, which is very close in fact to 254 days, where it becomes fully automatic. And then obviously you keep going out there, you keep enhancing your speech, but within that time it becomes automatic, it happens on its own. But you have to keep doing the work pretty much consistently. Now that is the key. If you keep doing that, keep learning, keep going out there, keep using it over and over again, that would be the time within those 8 months that it would become automatic. So if you are outside the speech system and you would like to get inside the speech system, we have some options for you. One option is that you can start with the self-study course, and I've shared the link for that in the description. The second option, the fastest way of becoming a fluent speaker, is getting enrolled into one-on-one coaching with myself or with Mr. Michael Williams. Now, if you work with us, what happens is that you can reach that automatic stage even less than those 8 months, because when you are working on your speech with a speech coach, it makes the process quite hard. Why? Because a coach helps you give encouragement, evaluation and feedback, so it can make the process fast. If you're working on your own, let's say with the self-study, it might take more than 8 months, because if you're working on your own, sometimes you fail, you get discouraged, sometimes you feel like you have a lot of work, so you do not work on your speech as much as you should. So it might take even more than that. So that is the reason why one-on-one coaching is the fastest way to reach where you want to reach, and it accelerates your progress by at least 10 times. So if you are interested in that, I've left a link in the description to schedule an assessment, a free assessment session with me, where we can speak about your speech, where we can actually assess your speech, and then we can let you know about the best coaching and pricing options for you. We have some very special pricing if you work with me as well. So I hope that you found this video well. Keep liking, sharing, subscribing it, and may you be blessed. Thank you.